We're just gonna get right into it. Taking questions live on today LV Home Experts Radio Show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're gonna get right into it. So if you guys have any questions, this is the only radio show podcast that will answer any questions live. Or you can also call into studio at 702-409-4495.
Wow, we haven't put that number on in a while.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why we don't do that, but I think because there's just so much going on that it's very hard to take calls. And when the people do call in, sometimes I don't even answer the call because it's just so much going on.
Well, I think we need to make an effort because I think a lot of people don't want to. They don't want to call in because they think they can get their answers here on the messaging. But
yeah, it'd be nice to get some calls in. Just I want to talk to somebody out there in the universe, right? I want to be friends with anybody, somebody. Let's take the first question here. What do we have? We already have a question.
Can I move into a 55 plus community if I'm not 55?
Yes, you technically can. All right, but can you live there?
I don't think you can.
Oh, you can buy. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. You can buy, but you can't live there because the guideline says I think it's like 24 hours or 48 hours or something like that.
Yeah. Also, too.
I mean, why would you want to live in an age-restricted community, right?
Maybe they want quiet. I mean, you know how many places.
Dude, it's too quiet. You know what I don't like about it? It feels like this is the last place you're going.
Well, somebody told me one time, they said, one of the things about going 55 plus is that a lot of these people go there and they go there to die. It sounds sad, but it's true because you think about it.
Yeah.
They're not getting bothered by anybody, people. Mm-hmm. But I mean, look, there's a lot of places that have golf courses.
I know. I actually did 2 videos on a golf course at 1.25 million. And I mean, if I was going to go into age restricted community, it would have been these 2 properties that I just did a full video tour on.
I wonder what the statistics are for how many times you hear an ambulance come in.
Probably a lot.
A lot,
if you think about it.
Yeah, it's like crazy, probably.
Yeah.
But
I mean, just because you're at 55, it doesn't mean that you're already at your end of your leg, because 55, believe it or not, is very young. I would say the average is what Americans live up to, like 82 now, or 83, I think it was.
I have no idea. I mean, I think it was like 82. 80s.
Yeah.
I do know that statistically women live longer than men.
Damn.
I know. So you, by 15 years too. So
really?
No, I don't know.
I better spend my money.
Yeah. Right when you hit 60, you know that your girl's going to stay till 75. So
talking about that, when do you know to spend your money? I mean, you work so hard to accumulate all this money. I mean, you got to enjoy it some way, somehow, right?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do with it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, if you're going to go spend it just airlessly on things, then I mean, I would do that if I had a year left. You know what I'm saying? But if I was going to be like, hey, I'm going to invest my money, I'm probably going to hold off and not spend it, just like everybody should, because I mean,
you should
you're about halfway done, I would say. I mean, we might live longer as we get older, humans might live longer, but we're about halfway.
What do you mean?
And so, I mean, it's lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
So
you start reflecting on yourself.
Well, you still got time. You know what I mean? There's no urgency to go out and spend your money. Yeah. It's not like you're like, hey, I got to go spend all my money now because I'm at my midlife crisis.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy? In my 20s, I remember having $1 million was so much money. And when I was when I was 15, 10 years old, it's like, oh my God, $1 million. Nowadays, you got young guys in their 20s making that kind
$1 million, though, would be a lot of money if inflation wasn't in place.
That's right.
So, I mean, is it still a lot of money? Yeah, it's still a lot of money. It's just artificially their money's getting taken away that they don't know because inflation. I mean, so, $1 million today is like $500,000 it would be, 10 years ago.
Yeah. All right. So somebody says, laugh out loud. Your intro is so official, bro. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. From North Las Vegas, North Side. I like North Las Vegas. Depends where you go, though.
Yeah. There's always good places.
Yeah. If you had to move to North Las Vegas, where would you go? In the city of North Las Vegas, not north.
As far out as I can. I want to be right on the base of the mountain because at least I know it's new.
Well, you got Tule Springs, which is the new master plan community. And you got Aliante.
All right, so I'm going to say...
Then you got another community. Well, master
You know where the 95's at, right?
Yeah.
I would stay away from anywhere from... Just me. If you go to 95, how it goes east and west, anything above that, all the way down to Cheyenne.
Oh, wow.
Just cross that off for me.
I have 16 more years to go, but I want a quiet and safe environment. What's up from San Diego? What up? Love the video tours. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out our second channel, Chakits 2.0, we do release videos every Monday, Wednesdays, and also Fridays. So if you guys are a true fan of the show, check it out. It basically has to do with everything real estate, from financing, hard money, how to flip properties, how to run a business. So it's more on your financial side, and also, the progress of where I'm at in my career. So, and some of you guys have been following.
You ever seen The Truman Show?
Yeah.
You know the movie?
I think so.
That's like you with real estate.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you started at infancy stages. And it's like they see you progress. Pretty soon you're going to be like, wait a second, is this all there is?
Yeah, I know. Then I'll be looking out and realize it's one big screen. Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, it's like The Truman Show, man. I'm telling you. Your life's like, it's like they got the camera. You're going into the restroom. You got to shut the door so they can't go in.
So somebody comments, hiring a video photographer or a editor. So basically, I'm actually hiring two positions right now. One position is for to create like thumbnails, so a graphic designer. But also you have to know how to create for Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff. So I'm looking for somebody for full time. The second thing is I'm looking for a video editor that knows how to use Final Cut Pro. In addition to that, they know how to shoot video too as well. We do already have the equipment and the gear, so you got to know how to use a Canon. You got to know how lens work, aperture, depth of field. So you need to know all this, right? So basically, I'm hiring somebody for full time to specialize in TikTok videos, Instagram, just all the social media platforms. Okay, so basically, you would be literally working full time. Okay, I got Rudy right next door, right? Full time, right? And he's very good at what he does. He does the YouTube videos, right? He's blowing up right now. Also, I got another gal, right? Another editor. She does all the stuff that you do see on Instagram, like all the radio show clips and stuff like that. She's killing it. So, look, I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to grow, and I need your guys' help. But we need somebody that's actually qualified, okay? We don't have time to train. What else do we have on here? Want to read something?
Yeah, I was just, let me take a look here. It says, I was just about to ask that job. Okay, that's just the response to a question. Oh, we got, thanks for calling me, Dan. Ramel just got off the phone. Oh,
yeah. Didn't you just get him approved?
Yeah, well, we're going to get him approved. I got to get the approval letter to you. Okay. I was running into this podcast. I just got off the phone with him right before I got in.
Hell yeah, Ramel. Congratulations, man. It's nice.
Good guy, man.
Isn't that crazy? A piece of paper like this could be worth like $1 million.
Well, I don't know if it's $1 million, but it gives you the authority to buy $1 million.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, you know what this is, man? This money right here, dude.
That's your get out of jail free card.
That's right. So what's the pay for the editor? Well, it really depends on your, how good you are, and you'd be working full time. But I can tell you, you'll make a good living on it, and basically it's gonna be based upon piecework, right? So it really depends on you, but the thing about it is you're gonna have to keep up because I'm constantly on the move. I mean, you know how fast I'm moving, Dan.
Yeah, you're moving
too
lightning
fast.
Speed.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, you're like Flash Gordon.
Exactly. Not too sure who that is.
I want to. He's a comic book character.
Okay.
So look it over here. It says, do you need 2 years employment history to qualify for a loan? The pandemic, etc. People were laid off. That's a good question.
Okay, so let me try to answer this question. Okay, I'm not a lender, but I'm gonna say we've done people with a year history, right?
Not really.
No.
Everybody's got to have a 2-year working history.
Have to have. That's a W-2 employee. But what about self-employed?
Even more critical.
More critical.
More critical.
So I was wrong.
Yeah.
See, I don't know everything. That's why I'm asking.
No. I mean,
I could have swore we did somebody that had like a 1 year. Maybe it was a 1 year, but there was a gap. That's probably what it was.
So the rule of thumb is
you have to have 2 year.
If there's more than 6 month gap of employment.
Oh, it starts all over.
Yeah. It doesn't start all over. You have to be back to work 6 months to show you reestablished. Now, what you have to stream together, though, is you stream together the 2 year working history. So it doesn't have to be the same line of work. And there's a miscommunication. I think everybody's like, well, if I was a server, I got to be a server again. Or if I was a nurse, I got to be a nurse again. Not necessarily.
Okay. Oh, also, I want to talk about this because I think this is very important. Tax season is just around the corner. Especially for you guys that make all these tips and, have a business, right? And you guys are trying to write off everything. It's not a good thing. So it's very critical now if you are planning on purchasing a home this coming year, you want to strategically, right, file your taxes correctly, right?
Right.
You don't want to write everything off because that could literally hurt you. Also, the other thing I want you to know is that let's just say you made $100,000 this year. Or the year before, but then this year you're going to file that you made $50,000 because you want to put more cash in your pocket. That's going to actually hurt you because how the lenders work, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They take the $50,000 and the $100,000, split that up. That shows that you made roughly about $75,000 average, correct?
If it's increasing that next year.
So
yes.
So keep that in mind. So what I'm trying to say is that, look, it doesn't benefit you to write everything off and say you only made $1. Right, because you're trying to save money. When it comes to the financing, right, for a home, it's just a game, man. You got to play the game. Mm-hmm. You got to know the rules of the game. You got to know how to play it. Mm-hmm. All right, it's like Monopoly. You play to win, right?
Absolutely.
Couple greenhouses, you get an apartment?
A hotel.
Hotel?
Yeah, it turns into a hotel, I think, after 4.
Yeah. See, you don't play. I do. It's 4.
It's 4.
Thanks for all this comments, guys. This is great. Where are we at, bud? Where was the next comment?
Great show from Northern California.
Thank you so much. Much love. Love you guys.
Mm-hmm. Do you need a 2-year? Okay, that was the same question. It looks like from vegan lady. Sorry.
Okay.
Vegan lady, 35. Question. I was forbearance until recently. How long do I have to wait to refinance or sell after initiating payments again? It's usually 3 months.
That's a good question. But for the audience, explain what forbearance is real quick.
Well, what a forbearance is, they hold your mortgage so you don't have to pay your mortgage. It's almost like temporarily suspended, if you want to call it. Right?
And how long was that going for? And explain the reason why that was going on.
What the servicer agrees upon.
Okay.
Now, we did this for COVID.
Okay.
Now, to refinance your home, you can do it for after 3 months. So you need to have 3 months of on-time payments.
Okay.
Now, what I've also seen is that people that go under like loan modification or forbearance, it's been somewhat of a challenge to get them out of that forbearance or or even putting them in a modification, because the banks are trying to work it and they were so packed and they were so overwhelmed. So what they did is when you look at the forbearance situation, they didn't take people off right away when they said.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, you've been making your on-time payments for 3 or 4 months. They have to show it on record from them that says they've been making payments to credit it, saying you've been making the full payment. They have to send you a letter saying that it's been satisfied.
Now,
so that's been an issue.
Does that affect your credit too as well?
No, it
not
does
at
not.
all.
No, it does not.
Oh, that's a good thing then.
Yeah, doesn't affect. That's the reason for the forbearance. I mean, especially with COVID. I mean, they did that strategically so you don't get a credit hit, and then it's a hit against you, so you couldn't do a refi. So.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Is Las Vegas is an expensive city to live in, with the prices prices up due to the COVID-19? I don't see pricing going up, man. I mean, I think it's okay. Let me retract. Things are getting more expensive as far as inflation is concerned throughout the nation. But like, is this place cheaper to live in Hawaii? Yes. Is it cheaper to live in here than California? Yes. The answer is yes. Now, home pricing has gone up so dramatically. And one of the challenges that I have is that, when I bought my first home, I only paid, like $195. But then the same home is selling for $400, which I wouldn't pay that. And you got to understand that.
Yeah, but is it because the mindset that you knew what you paid for?
That's what I was going. That's what I was getting at.
Right.
See? So it's how you look at it. And I'm guilty of that as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, if let's just say you're from Hawaii, and I think the median price point for a condo was like $800, right? So I mean, at $800,000, imagine what you can get out here.
Yeah.
For $800,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I would say that Las Vegas is expensive compared to, let's say, Midwest states. Okay. As far as West Coast, East Coast, it's always going to be more expensive out there. So overall, though, costs, I feel, not just the housing, but I feel costs have gone up. Now, we've seen gas.
Well, we don't pay state income tax.
Well, the tax part of it, but if your everyday cost of living, has that gone up? I would say in a lot of sectors, yes. But that's, that's obviously case by case.
Okay, so this says, what about job contracts and what is this? Or what about offered letters?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead and read that. I'm sorry.
What about a job contract or offer letter to qualify for a house loan? So it's all the question. So I would say yes. You can definitely use a contract. Now it depends.
Okay, so here's the thing. Before you go and give the answer, kind of explain what he's asking for the audience.
Yeah. Okay. So he's asking, can I get qualified if I'm in another state, or even if I'm in the same state, can I qualify based upon getting an offer letter from a new employer?
Okay, so that's a great question, because we have clients like this all the time, where they are actually buying out of state, and we have to strategically move them from here to here. And sometimes what happens is they may have a job out there, right? And they don't work from home, but they want to buy a home out here. They think they could just quit their job and move out here, and that's not going to work. So you have to strategically figure out what's going on. So let me give you an example. We just recently had a client from Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to move on out here and buy a home, but he has a job there, no debt to income ratio, right? I mean, he has a debt to income ratio, but he has no debt. So he's really good. But the problem is that he wants to buy here. And I explained to him, like, after, getting financed with you, this is where we all work together, right?
Yeah.
Because we got to figure out a game plan.
Right.
We don't want the guy to move out here. Next thing you know, he can't get financed, right?
100%.
So
100%.
Also, he could be moving out here, getting a job, same line of job, which is fine. But then what happens if he gets paid less? So now the home that he can qualify for, he can no longer qualify for. So basically, we have to figure out and strategize as far as how much money you make, how much you have saved.
Yeah.
Can we do this as a secondary home at 10% down? Right? Or can we do a job transfer? So we have to figure all that out. So that way we can give that consumer the options. So in this scenario, he's going to be putting down 10%. And we're going through the process of getting him approved, which is he's about to get approved. And once he gets approved, I'm going to show him some homes and we're going to close on it. Once we close on it, it doesn't matter at this point if he quits his job. Because the deal's already done.
Right.
So that's an option. Now, another option, like this gentleman right here, where we have a client right now, right, dealing with Bitcoin. They live out of state. He has a property that he owns. He has to show that he's going to rent out the property. So that way we can use that towards debt to income ratio. So that way he can qualify for more money.
Right.
And he's coming out here, he's buying a home, putting down 20%. Then once he moves in here, then he's going to sell the home. Now, it's going to be case-by-case basis. So that's why if you are out of state and you're planning on purchasing a home out here, give me a call. So that way I can help and work the file with Dan.
Yeah.
And Dan can show me what's going on with your financial situation. I already know what's going on with your situation. I'm going to say, hey, guys, this is the all-star team. This is how we're going to play this game in order for you to win.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Man, I felt like I was preaching on that one.
You were.
All right. So where
Let's
are
go
we
to the
at?
next one.
COVID, this is the offer. How cheap is the hotels in Las Vegas and cost, and how much does the food cost in Las Vegas when you arrive? I don't know. I think hotels are pretty fairly decent. However, I know some hotels will run you about $250.
Well, that's actually a good question. Because if I'm coming out to Vegas, I want to get the scoop, and we're here. So we should try to give some information on it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that depending on, you go to the Venetians and the
they're going to be more expensive.
Way more expensive. I've seen stuff, though, at MGM and Mandalay
or the Luxor.
Bay. The Luxor. Dude, Luxor's cheap right now. I mean. Now,
one thing I do want to tell you, quick tip. If you're going to come out here to buy a home and you want to see what's going on, Monday, right, is going to be the slowest days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
It's probably your best deal.
Exactly. So you're going to save a lot more money on that as well. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, so go ahead. What's the next question?
Okay, it says, Chakits, I'll give you $10 if you can paint your nails red, white, and green for the holidays. Oh, you mod up.
Oh! You could look like a candy cane. That's what you should do, man.
Yeah.
You should do fingernails that look like candy canes.
That'd be good. You know what's so crazy is people are giving me slack because they're like, hey, man, why'd you paint your nails black? It's like, dude, it's October. I'm trying to have some fun with it.
Hey, how did you take it off? Nail polish remover?
You know what? I had some nail polish remover at home, and I was trying to polish it off, right, or take it off. It wasn't coming off. And my wife was like, is it like a gel? I'm like, I don't know. This is your stuff. It wasn't coming off.
Did she do it for you, or you did it?
No, I just did it myself.
Oh, you did?
Why? I tried to, and after that, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to need your help.
You should have put like CK Group.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool in gold.
Then that means we would all have to rock
and then
it.
you'd have been like, yo, what's up, everybody?
So I had to go to this one place right down the road where they do the nail.
Do the nail.
Yeah, they do the nail really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I set up an appointment. I was like, hey, I got to get this off. I think it's gel. My wife's saying it's gel. She took the nail polish and came right off. She's like, boom.
No issues.
Quick. Like less than like 2 minutes.
Women got that experience,
Yep.
man.
I was like, oh, all right, cool.
I remember these things. My mom used to have it. She used to have like this little jar. Maybe they still have it. And it's like this foam, and it was cut out, and it had the nail polish remover in there, and she would just dunk her fingernails. I think they got the same stuff. I'm not sure, but that's how she would remove that.
Hawaii prices home equals 2 to 3 nice homes. SMDH. What is that? Not too sure what that is.
Where are you at?
Oh, right here.
Not sure what that means.
Would investing in REITs stocks be a better benefit than investing in physical property? That's a very good question. Here's the thing. I have so many opportunity to invest in REITs and with like friends, but they'll have control of the assets. Right. For me, I personally physically want to have control of that asset myself.
Just a control thing for you?
Yeah. Because if you want to liquidate it, you can. However, if you do not know what you're doing in real estate, right, and you're buying as an investment property, real estate is very hard to liquidate, especially when the market tanks. It's not like the stock market. You can get out at any time. So here's the thing. You got to know what you're doing. That's very important. Let's go to the next one.
It's a good analogy.
Aloha from Hawaii. Okay. Strategically. Okay. All right. What's the next one here? Go ahead and read this one out, Dan.
I'm leaving SoCal for LV. I'm tired of rising property taxes. Mine is currently at $8,200 a year. Wow.
$8,200. You know what? That's not bad. I mean, if you bought
it's not bad, but I mean, when you compare it to here,
I mean, here's getting pretty pricey. 1% of the total sales price. That right there is an $800,000 home.
Yeah, but the average price. This is just my thing. Is even if you bought a home at $400,000 or $500,000,
that's still $5,000.
Yeah, it's still $5,000, but that's half. You know what I mean? And it's still increasing. I'm just saying.
Well, it's the state taxes. That's where they save you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Instead of paying California 13%, you pay nothing here. I mean, again, we talked about this. If you made $1 million, state taxes out there, that's $130,000. $130,000. That is what, a $1,300 payment. I'm sorry, what is that? $13,000 payment every single month. $13,000, dude. $13,000. You know how much you can afford for $13,000? Even like $10,000 a month. How much can you afford? Like 1.8.
Well, it depends on you're talking about the price of the home?
Yeah, price of a home.
I mean, if you got no debt, that's you're looking at a $5,000 mortgage, if that's what you're saying. So, yeah,
okay,
I mean, you can be at $1 million.
Okay, so at $1 million, so basically you can buy up to $1 million. Hawaii's the house, in the house. What up, Hawaiian? Okay, amen. So, you get a loan with a job contract. More information, please.
From the previous question, is that the same person?
Yes, I don't know. I don't think so, but let's just talk about this. The job contract, more information. Please elaborate on your question because we're not too sure what you are asking.
No, I think what they're saying is keep going because I think we got into it and then we had something we were talking about it, so I don't know.
Okay. Where were we with the contract?
Well, I think it goes back to, can you get a job? Let's just go back and start. And let's just say if you're trying to use a offer letter to get into a job.
Explain what an offer letter is real quick.
An offer letter is what an employer gives, and it breaks down the terms and conditions of what they're being hired upon.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're a nurse, might be a little different. Why are nurses different? I mean, unless it comes out and says that you're a salaried employee, then you can use the letter and it shouldn't be a problem. Now, you always want to say, is there any extra requirements, right? Yeah. Do you have to, do something within that period? Let's say they're on a 3-month probationary period.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say they have to go through 2 weeks of training, right? That's all in consideration. The underwriter is going to look at that. So if you get into a contract, a house contract, not an employment contract, and the underwriter's like, okay, well, you didn't complete your training, or you got 3 months of this, or
so it depends on the verbiage too.
It really depends on the verbiage and the breakdown of what's in that contract. Now, historically, it's been better to have people that have where they're on a salaried employee, right? Their salary income, because it's consistent, stable, right? You're not going to have any issues. If you're hourly, they might want you to start and be on the job for 30 days minimum, assuming that you're meeting all the other requirements on the employment letter.
Okay. Wow. That was a lot of information.
You're still pondering?
I'm still at the first one. I forgot what you even said. Normally it goes in one ear, out the other, but this one didn't even go in one ear. I was just like a deer in headlights. Wait, what?
But I mean, again, it depends.
I hear what you're saying.
No, let me say this. If you're a nurse, though, or you're a doctor, completely different, right? Nurses have volatile hours. They don't work the same consistent hours. So you think, oh, I'm making $80,000 or $80,000 a year on a salary. Cool. Is it hourly salary? If it is hourly, then you might have to say, well, you need to start your job. That's a perfect analogy because they make a good living, and on paper it looks great, but they might only work 10 hours one week and then 28 hours next week or whatever it is, and then you got to average the hours. Yeah. That's where the problem comes in. It's like, well, what do you work?
All right, something's going off. All right, let's get into another question. Working from home, and I wanted to buy my first home in Las Vegas, and I'm from Los Angeles. Zero debt with a hefty down payment, right, with my employer for 10 years. They're a good candidate. I mean, give us a call. Or you can also visit lvhomeexperts.com. And when you do that, there's a tab bar for financing. You can click on that tab bar, and it takes you to Dan's landing page with guarantee rate. Go ahead and click on that and submit your application. And Dan should have you an approval letter within 4 minutes, you were saying?
Oh, yeah.
4 minutes?
Once you hit that button, I'm going back and giving an approval letter. It's like send.
How long does that process actually take?
It's just different. I mean, look, again, it depends on a lot of factors. It depends on the employment. It depends on if you have to stream something together, like they've said on the questions. It depends on consistency. It depends if you were on furlough or laid off. You have to stream that together. It depends on what your employment is. There's a lot of factors, man. If you're a tipped employee versus non-tipped, or you self-employed, Yeah.
So
there's a lot of different.
So this is what I want you guys to do right here. Just go ahead and visit lvhomeexperts.com, and then what you're going to do is click on this financing button. Then it's going to take you down here to get started with Dan. You're going to go ahead and click that, and now you can actually start your loan application now. Should we fill one out right now, Dan? What do you think? No?
You want to fill? We got to answer questions. we're just going to fill out an application and say, yeah, you guys have a good one.
Yeah, we're going to fill out their application. That'd be great if we could fill one out live, right now, right?
You're answering questions on the side.
Yeah. All right, where are we at with the next question, man?
All right, let's take a look at the next one.
Where are we at here?
So yeah, I'm working. I'm in that situation.
Here you go. I got one for you.
Go ahead.
To rent a house, do we need an agent, or can I contact the owner? I mean, here's the thing. It depends. There are some homes that are for rent from Zillow, that's marketed directly from the owner, or Offer Up, or Craigslist too as well. But if it's listed with an agent, then you have to contact the agent. Now, here's the thing. If you are looking to find a rental property, it's probably best that you just go to Google and you just look up rental properties in Las Vegas. Then at that point, there should be a bunch of marketing ads that agents specialize in property management. And probably that's the best way. And they can actually help you out finding a property here in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Hola, Chakits. Hey, hola. Thank you.
I think we had a question up there I was going to tell you.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm in my...
How far did we go? I'm sorry. Did we go
here? To where it says question right there. Right there. Read that one.
No, you read it. I went to the next one.
Yeah, I'm in that situation, working from home, and I want to buy my first
I thought
in Vegas.
I already read that one.
Did you read that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead and read it again. We're going to try this one more time. Here we go.
Well, it says zero debt with a hefty down payment with my employer for 10 years.
That's why I was saying that. Hey, look, this person's a great candidate. Visit lvhomeexperts.com to do the financing.
Okay, cool.
So, all right. Do you think of the future of the housing market after Jerome Powell's? What do you think?
I mean, as far as what?
I don't know.
Is it going to continue to go up, or are we going to see more inventory? I mean, what is the question about?
Well, I guess here's the thing. Maybe he's asking what's going on with the feds, but I know that they're tapering off. However, debt is at, 21 trillion. GDP right now is...
I think it's higher. I think, but I think it's actually higher than that
28
now.
trillion.
29.
29, dang. Yeah. And I know GDP was at 4 point something. But if you look at the trending on the debt, it's 7 point something. So basically what that is saying is that we're borrowing more money that we can even pay back. And we're at $0 right now on interest rates, right? I mean, 0% on interest rates. Eventually, we're going to have to raise rates.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think so the data that I had in the beginning of this year, and I brought this up on a previous show, is that inflation was going to be not a problem at the end of the year. And
you thought it was going to drop.
I did.
And I told you inflation was here to stay.
Now, the mistake that I had was, and it was a mistake, was I was predicting people would be back to work and the economy would be back in full swing. Now, I thought it would be a very slow process, right? Well, it's still not there. That's why you're still seeing inflation high. Now, we see gas prices come back a little bit, but, you look at this and you're like, well, where is this all going? Honestly, I don't know, because the Fed, I think, does not have a strong, grasp on what they're going to do with this inflation situation. They're going to raise rates, but you got to think that they're going to be looking at this like with under a microscope, because 1/3 of the economy, as we talked about, is the housing markets, the housing sector.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to pay big attention to that. Also, 2/3 of the economy is GDP, right? I mean, they look at, or not GDP, but they just look at, when you look at the big picture of everything, I don't know what they're going to do with inflation. I think that's the big thing. For me, I thought they did.
The Feds need inflation to a certain point to pay back what they owe.
But they already have debts, and this is why I'm saying, like, 2/3 of it, they're looking at it going, okay, well, GDP, and you look at where this is going and where that part, and basically where GDP is going to end up. We don't know where. I know it's increased, but we don't know where it's going to end up, basically, the inflation part.
Look, at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're accumulating more things than producing things.
Correct. So
is that me?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you what's going to happen, basically, now is what I'm trying to come out and say. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Who does?
Well, I think that a lot of people want to try to give some answers to it, but I mean, you look at GDP and you look at which is higher. It's higher, but listen, it's artificially higher, and that's what I was going with. Is that I feel it's because of the COVID and everything that's going on, and now you look at costs of things have gone up so much, and that's kind of what I was trying to give you an answer on. Is
you don't have the answer. This is just how it's going to work,
and that's the thing.
You're like diving way too deep with this. Yeah. All people want to know is the market going to tank. Look. If we raise interest rates, things are going to slow down. We're screwed.
Well, but where I was going with it is that the Fed their tactic, and this is kind of why I don't know about inflation or GDP or where that's going to end up, is to raise rates, like you said. Even raising rates, though, at the point where we're at $29 trillion, and this is kind of where I was going with, is that really going to make an impact? So they're going to be paying very close attention to the inflation barometer, as they always do, and we talk about it all the time. It's like endless. And then they're going to look at the housing market, but they're not going to let the housing market fall because of how big of the economy of GDP. And that's kind of what I was trying to explain is I feel that they're going to still try to prop it up.
But Dan, you also have to understand when your debt is due, you have to pay it back. You can't keep borrowing money.
So listen, though, let me explain this. Let me ask this question.
Well, what I'm explaining to you is that you're going to have to tax your people some way, somehow. You need more money to pay off your debt. To print more money, right? To kick the can down the road.
We just had the 1.2 infrastructure bill come in.
Well, exactly.
Okay. Now,
but then if you keep printing more and more money, there's more money in the money supply line. When you have that, that's what is creating inflation. But then the problem with inflation, things go higher and higher. Then what happens is you and me as an average person, we are being sucked out of our wealth through taxation. Mm-hmm. Right? And the things that we do pay for. But we're going way too deep into this, Dan, and we don't need to. Okay? The thing about it is we just need to know when is a market going to tank and what will affect the market to tank, right? Because we're talking about housing, because that's what this show is about. So if the Feds print more money and now they are forced to raise rates because eventually they can't print money, keep printing money, right? Because they have to pay that back. And that's just like me saying, hey, Dan, let me borrow $50. Let me borrow $100. Well, now I'm at like $1,000. Let me borrow another $50,000. I'll pay you back, but I'm paying you back even slower and slower. But it's going to get to a point where you're like, dude, you're not going to pay me back. And what happens if I start giving you monopoly money, right?
No, it's true.
See? So now let's move on to the next question. My property taxes is at 1.97% of $500,000. That is just shy of $10,000. $1,000 a month on property taxes.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, think about it. You got to actually approve for that as well.
That is crazy.
It's part of your payment. So,
how much by percentage can a veteran with 100% of disability be exempt from property taxes? That's actually a good question. I've done a couple of these, and I don't remember, but I know it's a pretty good, a substantial amount. Yeah. But you would have to get with the county. I can send you to the right direction. I probably only did about 4 of these.
No, here's the best way.
Yeah.
Just contact the VA department.
Oh, there you go.
Ask them what the percentage is. Like, let's take the guesswork out.
Well, here's the thing.
Take control of it yourself.
But I can tell you, they're going to say you need to contact your county because depending on the county, you can't just go off of the VA. So you need to call Clark County property taxes, right? They'll tell you. Or the assessor's office.
Yeah, but the VA department, I think, will tell you what percentage per that county. Like, they have all that data right in front of them. I've actually had somebody call me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know you can do it. I didn't know the percentage, but I said, call the VA department. They're going to know exactly what to do with that. Because we, as a lender, I don't deal with that part of it.
No, I don't either. But I know I had a client that was going through that situation, and basically we directed him directly to the county, the treasurer's office, and they were able to give him an exact number because it's all case by case basis. I know it's a percentage with the VA's office, but it really depends on the property that he does buy, and also with that disability that she's just talking about, 100%. Now, what are the advantages of disability of putting down 20% of the home price?
What is the advantages and disadvantages of putting 20% down? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. So
I'm reading the question.
Well, 20%, if you're doing a loan, has no mortgage insurance.
What is mortgage insurance?
Private mortgage insurance to protect the investor, right?
Yeah.
So they put that on there in case you default. The servicer is still going to get paid because the insurance company is going to pay them out. Now, I've had people call me and tell me, hey, there's banks telling me that I can get it at 10% and not have mortgage insurance. That's completely false. Yeah. Now, there's brokering options where you can broker to investors that give you a higher rate based upon the risk threshold.
Yeah.
You may find a bank out there that will do that, but you might be paying a 5% rate. So you're gonna kind of pass one for the other, right? It's gonna cancel each other out because that payment's gonna go away with no mortgage insurance, but you're paying a higher rate. So to answer the question, 20% gets you no mortgage insurance, and then the disadvantage of it, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of putting all my money in a house. So I think if you have a disadvantage, it's you can diversify that money, put it in other places. So I wouldn't probably, for me, if I can afford the payment, I don't know. I mean, I would rather take that money and make it somewhere else.
Now, it's a really case-by-case basis on what you're looking to do. Are you looking to invest, right? Okay. And also depending on how much money that you really have. So sometimes you can put down the 20%, and it's great that you can get rid of the mortgage insurance premium. However, if you only have $100,000, right, and let's just say you're 80 years old, you want to buy a $500,000 home, you want to put that down, you just liquidated all your money, okay? Sometimes it may just be best to put 5% down, right? That's $25,000. Now you still have $75,000 left, right?
Right.
But the disadvantage is your mortgage is going to be higher. But then you need to figure out how much more higher is it. And are you using this money now or are you going to use it later? So it's going to be a case-by-case basis, right? Even just like flipping properties, right? The whole idea with flipping properties, and I'm sorry, not flipping properties, but buy and hold the cash flow properties. It's all about putting less money down out of your pocket and getting a higher rate of return, right? So let me give you an example. You could put down 20% on, $500,000 and buy a fourplex, and let's just say you get a certain type of return. But then what happens is you can go FHA, right? 3.5% down. Your monthly payments are higher, but you're getting a higher rate of return. Does that make sense? Because all the units are covering your mortgage and you're making cash flow versus putting more down. And at that point, what would happen is your return on investment is a lot lower. So it's always a case-by-case basis, so it really depends on your situation. But we got 2 more minutes here. Dan, I want you to finish it up with another good question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What mortgage will I have to get if I want to purchase a rental home? Did you just answer that question?
20% down.
Okay.
Now, the other thing is you can go FHA or 5% down if you do a fourplex, but you got to live in one.
You want to do this last question? Okay.
Go ahead.
Chuck, it's besides Vegas, do you typically show homes elsewhere? Do you have plan to expand your horizons to other states?
Oh, that's a very good question. Right now, we're also building a website to work with other real estate agents and collaborate with other agents too as well. So I'm trying to find other people that kind of like a referral fee basis, right? But we want to make sure that, they're on point. Oh, let's do one more. I'm rich in the metaverse. Hell yeah. Are you part of the metaverse?
Yeah.
You have no clue what the metaverse is, though.
What is that?
So basically, it's just pretty much like, you ever seen Roblox?
Oh, we talked about that already.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like for NFTs.
Oh, no, it's something different. So basically, it's like, a whole new world online.
It's like the dark web.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning to the lvhomeexperts.com or .com. Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Other than that, until next time, I'm out.